Hello, my name is Saria Waditella, and I am the Chief Financial Officer at the University of Mexico Health Systems. Today, we will be discussing and analyzing the financial statuses of two organizations that UNM could potentially merge with in the near future. The goal of this presentation is to give the CEOs of UNM an accurate assessment of both organizations in order to make an informed decision on which of the organizations to merge with. Before we begin, I would like to note that I have distributed a supplemental packet to accompany today's presentation, which includes the evaluation heuristic, organizational snapshot, and the financial and creditworthiness reports on both organizations. Here we have Ashley Medical Center's mission, vision, and values. The mission is a community service organization that provides preventative, curative, supportive, and educational healthcare that meets the physical, emotional, and spiritual needs of the people they serve. The vision and values are listed here for your reference. Founded in 1952, Ashley Medical Center was originally named the McIntosh County Memorial Hospital. AMC is the largest hospital in McIntosh County, located in the city of Ashley, North Dakota. It is a nonprofit, community-owned hospital governed by a publicly elected board of directors. There are no public ratings available on AMC, but in October of 2015, AMC was recognized at the National Rural Health Association Conference as a top 20 best practice in patient satisfaction. AMC is in partnership with Northland Healthcare Alliance in order to provide highly sophisticated technological services such as telemedicine and teleradiology. It is through these services that AMC is able to provide community education programs open to the public free of charge. AMC has the ability to offer expert training and educational programs over a network area in order to minimize the disadvantages of being a rural community. In collaboration with St. Alexis Medical Center, AMC is also able to serve remote communities by providing virtual consultations and pharmacy services. Utilizing such services has saved patients transportation costs and lost wages in excess of $4,000 a year, as outlined by a recent analysis from the NHCA. In partnership with Ashley Public High School, AMC hosts summer fitness programs for students. Journey is offered to students grades 3 through 12 and is designed to teach the fundamentals of each sport and training regimens to ensure success during the school sports seasons. Here we have Penobscot Valley Hospital's mission, vision, and values. The mission is stated to be the community's first choice in healthcare, known for a culture of compassion, quality, and safety, and to be an excellent community partner, working together every day to improve the health and well-being of those they serve. The vision is listed here for your reference, and there was no value statement found. Penobscot Valley Hospital opened their doors to the community of Lincoln, Maine in 1973. It is a privately owned nonprofit hospital. PVH has an overall rating of 3 out of 5 stars according to Hospital Compare. PVH also has a patient experience rating of 4 out of 5 stars. And according to Health Grades, 65% of patients would definitely recommend PVH. PVH hosts annual golf tournaments in their community in order to raise funds to enhance the patient experience and improve safety for patients and staff at the hospital. In 2016, the 10th annual golf tournament, consisting of 60 golfers and numerous sponsors, raised $15,000. The proceeds went towards the purchase of new life-saving equipment in the emergency department, rural health clinic, and rehab center. PVH also offers a free weight loss program to the community called Healthy Me. The program is designed by PVH physical therapists and registered dietitians to help community members make healthy lifestyle changes in order to reach their weight loss goals. For the next 3 slides, we will be discussing the merger heuristic used to evaluate both healthcare organizations. The heuristic addresses organizational identity, reimbursements, expenditures, and overall financial status and stability. Defining a hospital's mission, vision, and values can boost employee engagement, encourage participation in hospital initiatives, and send a clear message to the community about a hospital's direction. So it is vital to include these 3 organizational identity messages in the evaluation. The mission, vision, and values criteria are listed here with detailed factors that should be used when analyzing AMC and PVH. We will be analyzing financial statements in later slides, so this criteria is included in our evaluation because we want to focus on how these 2 organizations are dividing their funds within the hospital and whether they have plans to decrease overall spending. So that's why we are analyzing annual budget. When analyzing financial status and stability, we would look at the debt to revenue ratio, which we will get to in later slides, but I've provided the calculated total long-term debt for both organizations for reference. When looking at past and current debt, it is important that organizations are making efforts to reduce debts by paying off balances sooner than later and renegotiating existing contracts, which is also an evaluation criteria we'll discuss on the next slide. It is critical that insurance payouts to the hospital are accurate and correct in order to avoid being underpaid by insurers or overpaying insurance companies. Organizations and physicians receive value-based incentives based on their usage of meaningful use. As you can see, AMC received $0 for both the years of 2013 and 2014, so that will require further investigation. Analyzing past RAC audit results is a great way to assess the organization's billing accuracy. Staffing for both hospitals are listed and can be compared to neighboring hospitals and clinics. We touched on payer contracts briefly on the last slide, but analyzing the financial statements for reduction of debt over the years and reviewing all contracts is essential in minimizing debt and increasing revenue that can be spent on operational functions instead. Future technologies is an innovative way to decrease output costs over time, and it is vital that hospitals are keeping up with the latest technologies and contributing to the field. Here we have the 2013 financial statements of both healthcare facilities. These are the finances that we are most concerned about. Long-term debt is the financial obligations that are anticipated to be liquidated beyond one operating cycle, which is 1 year. It is used to acquire immediate capital. Operating margin is the amount of revenue retained after factoring in operational and overhead costs and is used to measure pricing strategy and operating efficiency. This is a margin ratio that may be used to identify areas where costs can be reduced in order to increase profit margin. Net margin is the percentage of revenue remaining after all expenses, interest, taxes, and preferred stock dividends have been deducted from a business's total revenue. Tracking net profit margin may be used to forecast future profits and assess the efficacy or the efficiency of current practices. Here we have the 2014 financial statement, and you can see that there has been minimal reduction in long-term debt by both organizations. Operating and net margin is still in the negative. Total revenue increased, and salaries have stayed about the same. Creditworthiness determines the ability of an organization to get funds from lenders and allows organizations to increase its capital in the debt market. Lenders and credit rating organizations conduct credit analysis to determine the creditworthiness of an organization using financial ratios, cash flow, current assets and liabilities, credit history, and trends. Lenders want to determine the possibility of a borrower defaulting on their debt obligations before approving requested funds. Operating cash flow margin is the hospital's ability to generate cash from operations. Operating cash flow margin is listed for both organizations, and they're about in the upper 90%. Debt to cash flow is the time and years it would take to pay down the principal amount of debt if all cash flow were directed toward repayment. MADS coverage is the debt service coverage using cash flow from all available sources. So as you can see here, the debt to cash flow years would be 0.3, about 0.4 for Penobscot Valley Hospital. So it would take less than a year for these organizations to pay off their debt if their main focus were to pay off their debt, and if they focused all of their revenue into paying down their debt. The financial situation of AMC can benefit from increasing fundraising efforts in order to lower debt and increase revenue. On both 2013 and 2014 statements of revenue, AMC recorded 0 fundraising events compared to PVH's 16,000. So if these two organizations were to merge, PVH has a great reputation for fundraising through their golf tournaments, where 100% of the proceeds go into developing the hospital and the organization is in terms of technologies and improving patient experience and satisfaction. AMC can benefit from this sort of asset that PVH has. AMC can be improved post-merger, mainly due to pay cuts and firings. Reducing staff is critical to sustaining the PVH can be improved post-merger, mainly due to pay cuts. PVH's salaries and wages are about half of the total revenue generated by the hospital, and this is not including deductions for hospital expenses. Minimizing employment costs and consolidating roles will ensure the viability of the organization post-merger. With the Affordable Care Act mandating that electronic health records are used in organizations and how there can be penalties accrued if you don't utilize that system, this will minimize the need for a medical records staff or those administrative staffs that took care of things that technology now can. So both of these recommendations can improve the organization post-merger, and I hope that the information that I have provided today will serve as a blueprint for the CEOs when making their decision. Thank you.